Well, I figured I would shoot you guys a quick update before I end up covered in primer dust again. I left here last night looking like Casper the Friendly Ghost, minus the friendly part. There was nothing friendly about it. 13 hours. I sanded on this thing for 13 hours yesterday. And I've got about a third of the car done. This stuff was a lot easier when I was younger. My arms feel like overcooked linguini, and my fingers just want to take on that permanent claw shape. But the car is looking pretty good. I tell you, it's straight. The car was a really nice piece to start with. So, you know, other than that major crunch on the quarter panel, the rest of this was pretty cool. I did find a section down here on the door. I had to work this in. This was bent out a little bit. But that's good. Fender looks good. Door, quarter's nice. There's a couple of small areas here that I gotta have Ron look at. Ron's gonna be here tonight, and I'm gonna try to get as much of this done as possible. I just tore this place apart. I just went crazy tearing this whole place apart looking for a pair of glasses. Because to work this GoPro, I need to have glasses. I can't see, you know, like this. I found them. I just dug these out from underneath the seat of my Jeep. But yeah, Ron's gonna be here tonight, and I'm gonna try to I'm gonna at least get a chunk out of the other side of the car. I haven't even touched the other side of the car, or the center of the roof, or the trunk, or anything like that. So that's next. 13 hours so far, a third of the car. So I'll bring up to speed on a couple of other things. The coffee cups are piling up. You know, you gotta fuel yourself somehow, right? You need fuel for this stuff. All right, so I'll bring you up to speed on two other things that are going on. The first, real simple, a bunch of you guys asked yesterday, or in the comments over the last couple of videos, about, so what was your solution for the wiring on Sledgehammer? So I'll just show you this real quick. So, stuck another alternator in there. I ran new line. This is a fusible link. It's a 60 amp fusible link, and then I ran the wire, like with all of the other stuff, through the center of the intake, comes out the other side and goes right down to the starter. So nice, clean, simple. I got rid of that whole rat's nest of wiring that was over here, and she's good to go. Okay, so that's that. Plan Z. Hey, well, Plan Z and the Mule. So this is actually, I'm excited about this. And actually, while I was working on the Charger, or sanding on the Charger, like, this was all I could think about, because I have new visions for what's going to go on. So Plan Z is actually going to go to a new home. But this is how mad I am at this car. You see this? I've left it out here all week, just sitting in the rain. You know, just stay out of my shop. Just stay away from me for a little while, right? So Plan Z is going to go to my friend Shane Polito, Slant Daily Garage, and his plan is to back half the car and put a cage in it and do whatever else he's got to do to make it like drivable, and he's going to do like a drag week type of thing with it. So we worked out a deal. It works out great for both of us, and full steam ahead on the Mule. So on the Mule, and like this is what I was thinking about the whole day, right? I kept saying my inspiration for the Mule project was from Garage 54, and the crazy stuff that they do with these Lotto motors. And I don't want to go as crazy as they do. I'm not trying to muscle into Garage 54's territory, but I like the idea that they have like one type of engine that they work with, one type of car that they work with, and they throw all these different experiments. If they have an idea, whatever it is, boom, they go right to it. So that was like the inspiration for putting the Mule together. And so now I'm saying to myself, well, you know, Slant Sixes are still cheap and abundant. They're all over the place. I've got one laying outside, just not it's like in the kind of scrap pile, but it's not really scrap. I still got it's like a catch-all, right? A heavy stuff catch-all. So I mean, I've got Slant Sixes, and you can pick them up dirt cheap still. they're a throwaway engine. That's one of the things I like about them. They're a throwaway engine. So now my wheels are turning on all of these different things I want to do to a slant, and use the Mule as that test subject. So we're going to continue with the engine and the concept of the original Plan Z. And then I want to see what we can get out of a normally aspirated slant. And thanks to Shane, I think I know what we got to do with the camshaft. So he's going to start working on that for me right away. The cam that's in there right now looks like it'll be ideal for nitrous. And see, again, I've been working on stuff. So this block has been sitting up on the bench for a couple of months now. I haven't touched it. But the intention for this engine right here was, this is going to be like the unnaturally aspirated engine. So we're going to use this for nitrous, for turbocharger, for supercharger, for anything we can think of to throw at the slant. There are certain things I want to try. Like for instance, Chrysler, a lot of people don't know this, but Chrysler had a diesel Slant 6 program. And you can find all of the engineering papers on the diesel Slant 6. I'm not really a diesel guy, but I love the concept of turning, or playing around with a Slant 6 and making a diesel. They have all of the plans for it. You can find it online. And that's one of the things I want to try. You know, how about a turbo diesel Slant 6? Now, this isn't something I could just jump into and do tomorrow morning, but it's something that, when I think of stuff like this is what gets me excited. You know, it's just neat stuff. So the Mule is going to come over here as soon as this charger is out. And we get working on that. Weight difference. So by my calculations, by my closest calculations, the Mule is going to be approximately 300 pounds heavier than Plan Z. The 66, 67 B bodies were very simple, you know, relatively light cars. And I guess there's about, by my closest calculations, about a 300 pound difference. Half of that is just the extra real estate. The Mule is already gutted. I mean, it's a gutted car, but not nearly as gutted as Plan Z was. And most of the weight difference is going to be in the rear end, and the Mule already has a roll bar in it. And then, of course, the extra weight of whatever it's going to take to make it streetable, you know, lights and all that, because we do want to be able to drive this car. So there's going to be approximately a 300 pound difference between the two, but I think we're going to make up for that with unnatural aspiration. So I'm very stoked about this. I think we're going to have a lot of fun going forward. There's so many different things I want to try on this slant. I definitely, we have the naturally aspiration that we're working with, but I'm dying to see what happens if you shove a bunch of nitrous through one of these things. I really want to do a back-to-back comparison between a supercharger and a turbocharger with the same boost. I want to see the difference. I want to actually quantify the difference between, let's say, a supercharger, like a torque storm type of supercharger at, let's say, 8 pounds of boost, and a turbo setup at like 8 pounds of boost. I really want to see what the actual difference is going to be. And even like nitro, because when I look at the Slant 6, the small bore and the long stroke, you know, I think nitro. It's like, so like I said, these aren't things that I can jump into right away and accomplish right away. But 13 hours of sanding on that thing had my imagination going, and I'm like, yeah, I could do this, I could do that, I could do the other thing. So I'm stoked, but I'm also dreading, because as soon as I'm done shooting this video, I have to pick up the sandpaper and get back to that thing. I'll see you tomorrow.